going to start the dark reaction in photosynthesis. As we already started the topic of photosynthesis in our previous lecture. We have learned about photosynthesis so deeply in my previous lecture. We have studied the basic definition, its equation, photosynthesis, the basic concepts, and one major concept, which is the light reaction. Uh, Today we will learn about the dark reaction, which is the second step of photosynthesis. If we have a look at the total step of photosynthesis, it consists on the light reaction and dark reaction. In dark reaction, carbon dioxide convert or reduce to a sugar molecule. From the light reaction, plants get NADPH2 and ATP molecule. NADPH2 will provide electron proton and ATP will provide energy to the dark reaction, so as carbon dioxide reduced to sugar. Let's start the dark reaction. As its name saying dark, it doesn't mean it occur in the darkness, but it is independent from the light energy, as light is already absorbed in the light reaction. That's why it is also called as light independent reaction. So the dark reaction occur in a cyclic way, which consists on three steps: carboxylation, reduction, and regeneration. And this cycle is called as Calvin Benison cycle. It is also known as reductive pentose phosphate cycle. So let's start. Calvin cycle is consists on 13 reaction catalyzed by 11 different enzymes, but for our convenience we divide it into three distinct phases. First phase is called carboxylation or carbon fixation. In carboxylation or carbon fixation mean carbon dioxide converts into an organic molecule. How it is done? The carbon dioxide in a stroma reacts with RuBP and convert into glycerate 3-phosphate G3P, catalyzed by an enzyme Rubisco. What is RuBP? RuBP means ribose 1,5-biphosphate or bisphosphate. What is ribose? Ribose is a pentose sugar, which means a sugar molecule which consists on 5 carbon atom, in which carbon number 1 and carbon number 5 is attached by phosphate atom. That's why it is also called as 1,5-biphosphate. Right? What is Rubisco? Rubisco means ribose 1,5-biphosphate carboxylase oxygenase, which means this enzyme catalyzes the reaction of RuBP with carbon dioxide as well as oxygen molecule. Right? In the second step is called reduction. The glycerate 3-phosphate G3P formed in the previous reaction converts or reduced into glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate by the consumption of ATP and NADPH2. ATP will provide phosphate and energy, while the NADPH2 will provide electron and proton for reduction. The third step is regeneration. In regeneration, the first molecule RuBP will be regenerated from glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate by the consumption of ATP, as cyclic reaction is the reaction in which initiative reactant is regained. So let's start the cycle, how the Calvin cycle proceeds. First of all, the molecule of carbon dioxide absorbed from atmosphere is reacted with ribose 1,5-biphosphate and form a 3-carbon compound called glycerate 3-phosphate. This glycerate 3-phosphate reduced into or phosphorylate into glycerate 1,3-biphosphate by the consumption of ATP. ATP breaks into ADP and phosphate, and this phosphate is added to the glycerate molecule carbon number 1. So it's convert into glycerate 1,3 biphosphate, and after that this glycerate molecule reduced to glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate by the consumption of NADPH2, which provide electron proton to reduce glycerate into glyceraldehyde, and the phosphate molecule is released into cytoplasm, right? So 3 carbon dioxide reacts with 3 RuBP to produce 6 molecule of G3P. So 6 molecule of glyceraldehyde is formed, 5 of which is used to regenerate the RuBP by the consumption of ATP, right? 5 of which is used. Now the remaining one is used to produce a sugar molecule, but G3P is a 3 carbon compound. So how it is happen? This cycle occurred 2 times to produce 2 G3P molecule, which combine to produce a sugar molecule, which is a 6 carbon compound called glucose, which means to producing 1 molecule of sugar, the Calvin Benison cycle occur 2 times, right? So that's it. Hope you all guys like my video and understand it better. If you like and understand, then share it to other friends. Thank you so much. Subscribe my channel.